WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning and a happy Tuesday to you. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this May 27th. It's 5:30 this morning, and Megan, it was a bit of a rainy start to our day, which was that's the weather right now. It's just like that. Not much else for me to describe it as, so we'll go to our meteorologist. She'll explain it.
You know what? I have to agree with Amelia. I feel like that's the best way to describe this morning. It's just kind of You know, we got some fog this morning, some rain. Temperatures aren't terrible. Here's a look at what you can expect as you're heading out the door. Visibility will be worse as you're traveling more towards that Kentucky-Tennessee border, seeing the thickest fog this morning as you're traveling in Somerset, 1.5-mile visibility. And as we mentioned, there is a lot of rain. Heaviest rain right now is as you're traveling into portions of Laurel and Somerset. Also seeing some making its way into Perry County. But we'll continue to see those rain chances all day long. Current temperatures, though, in the 50s and 60s, with the upper 60s and low 70s as you're heading into the afternoon. So a little bit of a chillier day, too. We'll see those rain chances, again, all day long, seeing some storm activity as we're heading into the evening hours. But all in all, it's just going to be a rainy day. Don't forget to wear your rain gear. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan. Local veterans, they're reminding folks why Memorial Day is about more than barbecues and time off. Air Force veteran Charles Hayes is part of the Sons of the American Revolution. His chapter finds and honors Revolutionary War soldiers, even those in unmarked graves. He says the mission is simple: remember the sacrifices of those who served long after they're gone.
Abraham Lincoln in Gettysburg said, "The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here." He went on to say that it's for us, the living, to dedicate ourselves to be worthy of their sacrifice.
The group offers educational programs and memorial services throughout the region. For more information on their work, you can find the story on our website, WYMT.com. 22 miles, carrying a 22-pound rucksack. That's what some people did on Memorial Day, symbolizing the statistical average of 22 veterans who take their own lives every day. That's more than 8,000 veterans a year. It's an annual march every year done by service members and veterans on Memorial Day. They walk from Richmond to Winchester. The walk takes about 9 hours to complete. Groups doing this march hope to break the stigma of asking for help. There's a Veterans Crisis Hotline. You can dial 988 or text 838-255. Memorial Day is the start of tourism season in Somerset and Lake Cumberland. 4 million people visit every year, but we're told the recent tornado is impacting the community economically. Officials say despite the May 16th tornado that ripped through a section of US 27, visitors still came to the city this past weekend. The 25th annual Summer Nights cruise brought in more than 800 vintage cars and $1 million to the local economy. But employees who work at Lee's Ford Marina at Lake Cumberland tell us boat rentals are down.
The cooler weather with the cloudiness and then continued relief work and issues connected with the tornado, it's just a lot less attendance.
The peak time for tourism in the area is the 4th of July. Many folks spent their Memorial Day yesterday giving back to people impacted by the deadly tornado on May 16th. One out-of-state group from South Carolina even set up a special memorial display for people who lost their lives. They're just one of several groups from across the country, like In-Flight Missions from Georgia, who've been giving supplies, meals, and hope to Kentuckians who lost everything.
One of the biggest things that God has told me, you know, in Mark 10:45 is you do everything that you can, and it's all completely driven by God. None of this right here would be possible.
There's really no words. I mean, because unless you're here, pictures do this no justice.
People are now placing flowers in front of the memorial display. There are also markers there for people to write messages to the friends and family that they lost. The Laurel County firefighter who died in the tornado was laid to rest. Major Leslie Les Leatherman died outside his home. He was found shielding his wife from tornado debris. Yesterday, hundreds of first responders from across the state came to his funeral to pay their final respects. Laurel County firefighter Terry Wattenbarger wasn't surprised by the crowds.
just the brotherhood of the fire service itself. There's people that'll be here today that never knew Les or never met him, but because of who he was and what he stood for, they will come and pay their respect.
Leatherman's wife, Michelle, is still in the hospital recovering from her injuries. She was able to watch a live stream of the services. Bullitt County firefighters left for Laurel County to help crews dealing with the aftermath of the deadly tornado. Firefighters heading down to the disaster zone say they see this as just another day at the job, just at a different fire station. They'll be working out of the Laurel County Fire Department, helping with fire runs in that area. They say they're looking forward to helping their brothers and sisters in London.
As a fire chief, knowing that we have these men and women that are going to step up and go away from their families for 63, 72 hours to be able to make sure that other people are comfort and safe, you know, that just tugs at your heartstrings a little bit.
The group on the road includes firefighters from Zoneton, Shepherdsville, and Mount Washington departments. FEMA disaster recovery centers are open for people impacted by the recent tornado. If you're in Laurel County and want to apply for federal assistance, you can go to the public library at 120 College Park Drive in London. And if you're in Pulaski County, you can go to the Center for Rural Development. That address is 2292 South Highway 27, number 300 in Somerset. 2 victims of a deadly fire in Ashland were identified. The Boyd County coroner says 42-year-old Elizabeth Staton and 16-month-old Dalen Bear died in the fire. It started at around 3 Friday morning. When firefighters arrived, they were met with heavy smoke and flames. One person on the roof was able to escape. The Red Cross is now helping the victim's family. A Laurel County man died in Kelly's Island, Ohio, after his car overturned and went into Lake Erie early yesterday morning. The Ohio State Highway Patrol says the crash happened at 2 in the morning. The driver was identified as 24-year-old Wesley Finley from East Bernstadt. Investigators say he went off the side of the road, hit fence posts, rocks, and a deck, ending partially submerged in the lake. Officers confirmed Finley was not wearing his seatbelt. That crash is still under investigation. A Boyd County man is dead and 2 more people injured after a crash in Cable County, West Virginia. It happened Sunday on Interstate 64. The Cable County Sheriff says Stephen Green of Ashland died after his vehicle was rear-ended by a pickup truck. It started when he got a flat tire, which led him to stop on the roadway. The person in the pickup truck and the construction worker who tried to help Green move his vehicle off the road are recovering in the hospital. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is investigating an officer-involved shooting in Campbell County, Tennessee. It started on I-75 with a chase in southern Kentucky that continued south. The TBI says a motorcycle was speeding, sparking a chase with police. They say the driver abruptly stopped and backed into the police cruiser. That's when the officer fired their gun, but the driver kept going. They later crashed in Anderson County and were taken to the hospital. One of the men charged in connection with a disappearance and murder in Kentucky will be in court today. Stephen Lawson is charged with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence in connection with the disappearance of Crystal Rogers. Prosecutors say he helped his son Joseph and Rogers' boyfriend at the time she disappeared, Brooks Hawk, covered up her murder. Rogers' body was never found. Jury selection is scheduled to start this morning. It's 5:39. Folks looking for some summer fun.